What's up, guys? We're back. Today we are working on a 2009 Toyota Camry. We are doing the front brakes, and we're going to go over this. We followed it on the Vibe Corolla video. It's going to be really similar. So you can see here we already have the hood open of the wonderful 2.4 VVTi. But we are concerned about this guy here. We're going to make sure we go and have our cap for the master cylinder taken off. This is going to come into play later. Next, we're going to make sure we have our wheel taken off. If you're trying to go and take the brakes off and do those with a wheel on, you have other problems, or you are very skilled, in which case you don't need this in the video. Anyways, first thing we're going to do is get the caliper off before you loosen these bolts. But there's one bolt here. That off. We have another bolt right here. Those are the only two bolts needed to get the caliper off. You may see right here, these are for the pins. If this spins and this spins at the same time, the bolt and the caliper pin spins at the same time, you might have difficulties taking it off. Get a wrench on there and just go at it from both sides. Now we're going to remove the caliper. Do a little bit of wiggling here. And we're going to place this right on top of the wheel hub. Here we can inspect our brakes. Take them off. So we're going to have a wear indicator on this side, on the bottom part. We'll say on the driver's side, it is going to be on the top. And then we go and have it here as well. And see, those pads are not doing too well. So we definitely are right in the nick of time. We do have the shims. Our brakes do not come with those. We're going to be, our replacement brake pads did not come with those, unfortunately. It says they're supposed to. Amazon must have mispacked them, manufacturer or something. So we're just going to get those cleaned up and still leave those there. Nothing wrong with doing that as long as you clean them up and then you lube the pads properly, which we'll show you. So we're going to have shims on either side, top and bottom. So now that we have the caliper off and our brake pads out, what we're going to do, and this is why we took the master cylinder cap off, is we are going to go and take one of these brake pads, the one that matches on the inside. Doesn't matter if it's inside or outside, but there. And now we need to get our special brake caliper compression tool, which is here. They sell these for about $10 at Harbor Freight. You can buy your local parts store. You can do a rental from AutoZone if you're just doing a one-off. Really, they're cheap enough. You might as well buy one. Not sponsored by Harbor Freight or anyone, but you can go and buy them wherever you want. There's nice snap-on ones. There's ones that have a little attachment to. You can put your impact on over here, or your drill, make it a little bit quicker. Most will have a little wrench attachment on there. But what you want to do is go and get this in, just like that. And then, since it's really hard to do with one hand, but I want to make sure you're in there, so I'm not getting the tripod out today. And you are just going to twist and twist, and that's going to go in, push the fluid back up all the way through the brake lines up to the master cylinder. You want to have the cap off, otherwise there's no place for it to go. It gets pressure. With this off, it allows that fluid someplace to go. So I'm going to go and get all this put in here and get the piston compressed. After that, we're going to get the new pads on. I'll show you how to get those prepped. So come back here in just a moment. We'll be prepping new pads. I'm going to use both hands to get this piston compressed. Alright, so we have taken out the caliper pins here. If you notice, there are two different pins, so pay attention to where they came from. Otherwise you have to check the manual or kind of see where they're coming at. But in general, if you have a 4-cylinder engine in your Camry, this with a little rubber slide bushing is going to go on the bottom, and if it does not have one, it's going to go on the top. So after you clean them off with some brake cleaner, get a little bit of the brake lube. Just use the Seal Glide here. Once again, not sponsored or anything, but it just works great. Probably cheaper to buy a tube than individual packets. If you buy the packets at your local parts store, that's fine. So we're going to go and insert them back in. Insert it back in. Make sure the boot engages. There. Alright. Good. You can see we also cleaned up our shims, cleaned up our caliper, and now we're ready to go and get our new pads. We did take off the little low brake pad warning shims. Those are going to go on the pads. Remember I said those were on the lower. On the driver's side, they were on the upper. Honestly, it doesn't really quite matter that much, just as long as they're on it. But we're going to keep them where they came from. Now, before we get those on, we're going to take a little bit of dab of the Seal Glide. There, right here, and we're going to make sure we get all the back surface. I like to get here as well on the top, anywhere it's going to have some kind of contact. We're going to do that on both. Edge. And now that we have good coverage, take these, and these are going to go and clip right in there. I do need to have both hands for that. We'll clip those in, and then we'll get our pads in. Alright. Then go and get those in, and go and use a screwdriver, just flathead, and make sure that pops in, because there is a spring-loaded shim here, as well as for the wear guide. Just make sure everything goes in nice and easy, flush, and get them on both sides. From there, I'm going to take our caliper, position that back. That gets pushed in just enough for the caliper to slide over. And make sure the bottom is the same way. Have to go and push this in just a tad for to get clearance, and make sure that's lined up. Once again, kind of difficult doing it here with one hand. That might be part of the entertainment value, or you just love a wonderful camera filming. Have it right there. Shall we? The bolt's handy. Normally I have to get the first one in, and caliper just swings down. press that in just a little bit here. After that, all you need to tighten it down. Remember to put the master cylinder cap back on. Throw your wheel back on, lower the car, and you are good. So you don't need a whole lot of tools for this. You'll be able to go and jack the car up. Scissor jack works good. Jack stand preferably, if not, put the tire under there. I like to do both. Get you a little bit of extra protection. A 14 millimeter for this side. You may need to go and have another wrench on this. I didn't have to go and get one on there. That's usually a little adjustable slip wrench, but I believe this is going to be a 16. Aside from that, not too many tools besides that little compressor for the pistons. People use C-clamps, bigger channel locks. Just go ahead and pick them up. They're cheap enough, it's easy enough. You can use one of those in a pinch. Anyways, that's about all we have for today. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe if this is helpful, and I'll be back to you next time.